What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Courtside Culture. I'm your host, Jeremy Jeffers, and today I've got a power couple joining me. Both of them are former decorated collegiate athletes at Kent State and the University of Colorado, but their story goes way beyond sports. They face challenges, and now the two of them are married, raising a child, and figuring out life after athletics. This conversation is about resilience, sacrifice, and love, both on and off the court. Please welcome my little sister, Tayanna Jones-Bell, and her husband, my guy, Tim Bell. Woo! One take. She crazy, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all she crazy. So we're gonna start off with you, Tay. Let's talk about your high school. You know, you was a standout at high school at North Johnson. So talk about growing up in Selma and your life growing up in Eastern North Carolina.
I feel like North Johnson was like some good, some bad. I do feel like overall, the competition was not as good, which is why I felt like I was so, extraordinary there. But I will say I got exposed for sure when I started playing against better competition. Yeah. I mean, it was a good confidence booster, like playing North Johnson. But when I started actually playing against better competition, it was like, okay, I got to get some work in, So I'm grateful for it because it was a confidence thing, like I said, but it also helped me understand, okay, you got a lot more work to do. So
right.
It was cool.
Did you like Eastern North Carolina?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I mean, for AAU, for sure, that's where I feel like I had more of like a, okay, welcome to actually playing like collegiate basketball. Because like most of the girls was actually having plans. So
right.
So yeah.
That's fire. That's fire. Moving on to Tim. You're from Cincinnati.
Cincinnati,
Ohio. Midwest. Cold up there, dog.
Yeah.
So talk to us about, man, you falling in love with track and field. Did you play any other sports? Talk about your upbringing.
So born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio. Went to a school named LaSalle High School. Many people won't know that from down here. But I ran track, played football, played basketball. Stopped football after my sophomore year. Played basketball all 4 years. And then obviously went to college for track. But coming up through high school, I was like one of the best long jumpers in the state. Okay. So kind of followed that career into going into college for track rather than I got recruited by some basketball schools, like some smaller ones when I was coming up, but I didn't know about like, you could go to college and transfer and work your way up. So I kind of went with track because I went D1. So
right.
And yeah, that's how I found myself in college.
That's fire. So I'll need both of y'all to talk about your recruitment process. We'll start with you, Tay, and who was recruiting you. Talk about your commitments. Tay, you was committed to Virginia Tech before you went to Georgetown. Talk about the decommit and that whole process.
That was a really interesting part of my life. I think, so yeah, when I was committed to Virginia Tech, I remember I was, like I said, kind of, in my mind, I was like really, really good back then. And I had like this false sense of like, okay, I'm like that. But again, like I think it was a humbling moment for me because when I decommitted, a lot of people don't know, I actually like lost my scholarship. So yeah, a lot of people don't know that. And it's interesting because I remember
finding it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, it was
Why
crazy.
Did they pull it?
Because I played bad, like at multiple, and it's a business.
Circuit.
Yeah, on the circuit. What? I was getting exposed.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's nah. No. So, but a lot of people don't know that, and I think like what I've learned now is obviously looking back at it, I'm glad it happened because if anything, I would have got there and left anyway. I wouldn't have played. I would have been upset, blah, blah, blah. So I think, like for me, that was a really big, okay, wow. Like I remember my dad, like, oh my God, he was so mad. He was like, you see, this is what happens, whenever you don't, you pledge you. Like, he was just all on my head. And he was right about a lot of different things because I was a little nonchalant. Yeah. And like I said, it was like a really hard time for me. But like bouncing back out of that was really my resilience, like building up in me because I was like, all right, I got to get it back. I got to figure out another way. Because like I had my whole thought going to Virginia Tech and then, the coach called me and he was like, we actually going to go a different route. It wasn't just like we're taking it away. It was like in so many terms, he was kind of like, okay, we kind of going to go a different route. We're looking at some different people. I think it's best if we both kind of like pull away from like, you coming to the school type deal. So, I'm like, all right. So, you know, it was really hard for me, and, you know, but I will say my mom, and like, especially her, she kind of like, she really pushed me. It was like, we got to figure it out. Like, what you going to do now? Like, so I had to mature in that area. That was like my first, I feel like for me, that was my very first challenge in life as a high schooler.
Right.
You know, like, it wasn't the playing time necessarily. It was like, how are you going to actually get yourself back together and get another scholarship to play ball? So.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire. And why Georgetown?
Honestly, Georgetown, I really, back then I was so focused on my academics. I was like, I really want to get a good degree, like, because, you know, like, girls don't make as much bread as the dudes. So I'm like, I want to make sure I have a backup plan. So, like, and I had, like, you know.
And was there, and I cut you off, was there any other schools other than Georgetown when it came to that?
It was like, they were all, like, kind of mid D1, like Delaware, I think Towson. What else? I know Drexel was one of them. I'm trying to remember. There was a few. I think it was a team in Ohio.
I wouldn't have.
But yeah, so yeah, it was like it was some teams. But I think, like I said, Georgetown was like the prestige.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, you want to make sure you have a backup plan. So shout out to her for sure.
That's dope. Well, Tim, talk about your recruitment process and why you ended up choosing Kent State.
For me, I was recruited by Kent State, Akron, and I did go on a recruiting visit to Ohio State. I would have actually went to Ohio State, but the way they was doing like their offers, they had their kids come out every Friday. And so there was a guy that came out the Friday before me, just timing wise, when my family couldn't get up there because we were about 2 hours away and his family couldn't get off so I could visit. So they had offered him the week before me.
Was that the dream school?
I don't know if it was a dream school, but it's Ohio State.
Yeah,
you feel me? Like, it's
yeah.
Ohio State. So right before my meeting with the head coach, he had called in and accepted the offer. So I wasn't able to go there, but went to Kent State. I went to Akron. I like both of them, but I think Kent State, they had like this Australian coach. He was smooth. I think he just sold me by talking to him.
Yeah.
I had some other friends like from high school that ended up going there as well. So it kind of just worked out that like I ended up going to Kent State. And also Kent State was one of the one schools that kind of stayed with me because in my senior year I ended up pulling my hamstring. So at the regional track meet, so running down when I was about to do my long jump, and it was like my first attempt, and I pulled my hamstring. So it was like one of the only schools that like called me again afterwards, like, "Yo, we still want you. Like, come out, we're gonna help you through that." And I was like, "Okay." And so.
We rocking after that.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have no choice.
So I was like, I gotta go. And ended up at Kent State.
That's fire. That's fire. So Tim, for you as a long jumper, track is often like sometimes feels like an individual grind. How did you handle the pressure of performing in those spotlights in those moments?
Man, that's true. It is an individual grind, but you practice with your team though. You're never really always by yourself. We might not be, passing the ball to each other, whatnot, but I have other long jumpers that's there with me, supporting me, other triple jumpers and things like that. So when I'm jumping by myself out there, the team's still around me. So I really thought about them, and I thought about it as practice. Like, my friends are still there watching me and supporting me. It made it easier because I know coming up through high school, I was really like the only long jumper.
Right.
In my high school, and I was the best one in the state at the time before pulling my hamstring. So like, I was kind of a loner for a while, so it was really hard. But kind of when I got into college, it was like, oh, people there with you, like they're supporting you. And in college, y'all know if you a dog in high school, you just kind of bottom of the tier,
Don't matter,
tier
bro.
one, get to college. So
It's a huge adjustment.
yeah,
For sure.
So, I think just having the right group around, like I said, they wanted me, they called me, so having them around me and wanting to be there for me, it made it a lot easier to not always beat yourself up, because after each jump or things like that, they came and talked to you. Like if you scored a basket, like the pat on the butt, it was like they were still there supporting you. So it made life easier.
That's love. That's love. So, Tay, both of you will answer this question. We'll start with you, Tay. What did each of you learn about discipline and identity during your time as collegiate athletes?
Oh my gosh, such a good question. What did I learn? I would say I learned that, babe, you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start.
Okay, good.
You have so much more freedom when you go to college. And if you're not taking it serious, you can get lost in just everything. You go to college and you can do any and everything. Your mom and dad not there, your coaches ain't on top of you. You can miss class if you want to.
Yeah.
Now, some classes, some of them coaches pop up on,
Yeah,
so
for
you're
sure.
supposed to be there. But I I learned that my first year, like, wow, I really got to make sure I'm getting up. I'm setting those alarms. My mom's going to come in there and be like, yo, you got to get to school. You about to be late, this, that, and the other. So it really taught me, it taught me how to like grow up and be a man and be more responsible. And that just kind of went on into everything in life. So make sure I was getting to practice on time. Make sure I was getting to those 8 a.m. classes, 8:30 classes, even though no athlete wants to go to those. But I think I learned something more about myself is like, if you need that support, you gotta make sure you call back and talk to those people that was there for you when you were at home. So when you get to college, you feeling like you left out and you can't do things because you don't know how much a support system you have.
How far was Kent State from where you grew up?
It was about 3.5 hours.
Okay, so
but they're not in the crib though. You know what I'm saying? So it's different.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's good. I want to like kind of piggyback off of that because I just remember like when I was in that place of like trying to be mature. I do think I did learn a lot of responsibility as well. And just time management. Like I used to be late. I'm still be running late. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all.
Tay was late today.
Keep me in prayer. Just pray for me. But
appreciate you, dog. You know what I mean?
Oh man, but I think like that's a big thing. Just like time management. Like knowing like okay, taking care of your body. That's another one. Like you can't just be up. Like he said, just fooling around. Like, go get in the bed. You got workouts in the morning. Or you got practice eating well. Just stuff like that, like the little small things that your parents teach you. And then you get to college, like, okay, now you got to be an adult. Yeah. And I think for me also, transitioning to another school, and I went to Colorado, I will say I had to rise to the occasion, a lot of different things, like on many type of times because the competition was better. Like girls was coming in as freshmen, they was already locked in. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, this is a different type of level, like mentality. Yeah, it's different. And for me, it was like, I wanted to get away from home, which is, I know a lot of people ask me, why you go to Colorado? And it's like, I wanted to get away from home. I wanted to get out of North Carolina. I wanted to just do things differently. A lot of my family kind of like, wanted to stay around here. But I just wanted to kind of venture out. And my mom always told me that. She was like, and she's no longer here, but she always told me, like, go explore the world, like, go to different countries. Because that's what she did. She was in the military. So I always tried to truly like, okay, let me just go venture out and try and just be spontaneous. I'm gonna go pick Colorado.
Like that affected things in college and made you have to grow up a little faster?
It did.
And I didn't really like, we were kind of in the same boat. We've had a lot of talks off camera about that. Of just like, Drake is in Des Moines, Iowa. Like, it's
crazy.
And then IUP is in Pennsylvania. So, I mean, we coming home for Christmas for a day and a half. For a day and a half. Like, we leaving Christmas morning. The next morning after Christmas.
Why are we leaving Christmas?
Yeah, I don't.
Bro, that still has to be tight
crazy.
to this day, bro.
Sometimes my parents flew to Des Moines, but it's just like, looking back on it, not having them on when you go through those, when you hit those walls.
Oh, yeah, rock bottom.
Yeah, and it's like.
Really rock bottom.
That's when you realize, like,
why did I do this?
You went to UNCG.
I know the A&T, bro. I'd have been lit.
You know what I mean? You have a bad game. Slide to the crib, mom, need the mac and cheese.
Bro, facts.
You like reset one time, but it does force you to really like grow up and become this grown up.
No,
you gotta
for
grow
real.
up super
and it happens
fast.
so fast. Like a lot of people don't know. They think like athletes be so like privileged, but we actually do go through a lot of different things that the people don't know. It's like, oh, you got it mad, you just playing the sport. And it's
they,
like, bro,
they love to say that.
Y'all have no idea.
I'm trying to play volleyball at 12 p.m. Y'all look good over there. I'm thinking about this conditioning we got to do at 3:30.
Bro, and I hate it.
Y'all just went to the cabin.
No, literally, y'all chilling. Y'all chilling. Y'all don't even go through
done with
nothing.
class at 1 and they got to do nothing. You should have straight A's.
No, but for real, and it's like it's so, especially any other sport besides basketball is not year round.
Right.
Like we have to continually hoop, bro.
Sport,
yeah,
sure.
I mean you gotta stay in shape.
Football will go, they'll be done. They get the whole month and a half winter break. You know what I mean? We're the only ones that kind of cross over through
every tier.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be good, I mean, and I think like so. Yeah, I learned a lot, I would say, but again, maturity and responsibility, like he said, like that's the major two things for me.
That's right. So, Tay, you mentioned it, but you transferred from Georgetown to Colorado, and we're going to talk about your time there, and then we're going to get to your senior season. Tell us why you chose Colorado first.
I will say, I wanted to leave Georgetown after my freshman year, but I knew I wasn't good enough. I knew I wouldn't have a good team, so I waited another year to get some more game film, to kind of like, you know, just lock in a little bit more. Because I knew I had a lot of teams, a lot of kids now, and I got to say this, they just go to school, to school, to school, to school.
Yeah.
Any little thing.
Yeah.
And I will say, I had dealt with a lot my freshman year, and that was the year I really should have left after, but I just kind of stuck through it. And I don't know if that's because my parents like really was keeping that like that dog mentality in me, like you got to keep going. It doesn't really matter. Like oh well. But I vividly remember I was like I don't even want to play basketball sometimes, you know, because freshman year be so hard. And so I ended up staying another year. Sophomore year, I ended up getting game film. I was like I want to go play in a bigger conference. Like I want to play in the league one day. I wanted to like play pro. Like I had all these different mentalities. Cause I mean, I felt like I could. Like I was low key doing really well, like against more of the seniors and stuff. Like you know, on my team and stuff. So I felt like I had a little bit more confidence. And so I ended up going to a bigger conference. And I did consider staying home, but again, I just wanted to be spontaneous and just like let me just go out somewhere I ain't never been. So I ended up doing that, and it was kind of different because the very first year I got there, they didn't pass the NCAA transfer rule, so I had to sit out a year. So that was a thing. But they ended up, I think, maybe like 4 months in, NCAA had just passed it, so I was immediately able to play.
Oh, that's
and
love.
so I was like, oh, okay, cool. So my coaches was not expecting everybody was excited, so I played. I did terrible my first game. We played against Arizona. I was like,
this is real.
Welcome to the Power 5. Welcome to the Power 5. Like, oh my God, it was so hard. Like, and I was like trying to remember. We had like 80 plays. Not even gassing. We had 80 plays.
Yeah.
Not even including sideline and about like we had 80 plays. And like this different different, you know, scenarios off the play. So it was like so much I had to remember, like defensive schemes, et cetera, et cetera. So
but that run, that Sweet 16 run your senior year. When we was at what was that Duke? When y'all beat Duke.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Did you first of all, I did not know Tim was there. Tayanna did not introduce me to Tim until like 8 years after. 8 years. I don't know what she had going on. I'm like, oh yeah, he was at the game. What is going on?
Well, we was only together for like maybe like was it a year yet?
We met in 22, so I think that was
we met in 22.
Okay.
Yeah. So it had been like maybe
almost a year.
Almost a year.
Well, let's cut out. We'll come back to the
how
did y'all meet? I need the story from Tim. Tell us how you guys first met. From Tim, I want to hear it from you. How smooth you were. Let's see that.
I don't know if it was anything smooth. It was a little something, but no. So I'm a basketball official. I ended up in Colorado. From Kent State. I had tore my hamstring my sophomore year. I went to Miami of Ohio, which is about an hour from home, to get my degree. Got in business. After getting my degree, I got hired by Amazon as a manager. They moved me to Toledo. Did really well there for a few months. Then they moved me to Colorado. So that's how I got in Colorado. And then I've been reffing basketball since like 2018. And so I was reffing a high school camp, but it was at Colorado where she was playing at. And she was doing the scores table for my game. And she was terrible.
Yeah.
So like, you know, y'all know if your games are just awful, you trying to like, all right, let's get to the next game. These girls was like probably the worst basketball I've ever seen in my life.
It was so bad.
She over there on her phone, not starting the clock.
I was not paying attention.
I'm like, you can start the clock and be on your phone, but not starting it. I done ran like 6 times up and down, like, yo, like, so she wasn't paying attention. I think that's kind of what kind of got our conversation started.
Yeah.
But, you know, she was on her phone a lot. She's an athlete. She's beautiful. I'm like, I ain't gonna pay her no attention. Like, I'm gonna stay out the way because she probably got, you know.
Yeah.
I'm really gonna leave her alone. I'm just gonna leave her alone. Stay on my way, do my thing, and then I think, actually, I know exactly what happened. The girls got the ball jammed between the backboard and the rim. You know, I got stuck. And in a gym with 6 courts, apparently there was no extra basketball, so nobody could throw a ball to get it out.
So you jumped up there and got it.
I had to come from half court to go get it. I said, oh my God. So I got it. I go back to half court. I look over at the side, the scores table. She doing like this.
Yeah. I mean, he looked mad.
Yeah, she got
He looked mad athletic. I was like, oh, snap. So like, I guess it was like...
like him? Oh, snap.
Bro, I did not notice him at all. But like, I don't know. Just like, okay. And then I'll let you continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So after that, she started talking to me a little bit more. So like I was running a bit down the court. She was like saying stuff. She's like, oh, you who, blah, blah, blah. And conversation went from there. And then she had like I guess it was a girl on her team the year before.
Mm-hmm.
She was sitting there, but she was talking about me, which made Tay, you know how girls get
Yeah,
jealous.
yeah, for sure.
So and then, so yeah, we kept talking, and I think after my games, I was done on that court. She was watching one of these star hoopers that was coming up. I don't remember her name. I think it was like Bree something. And she was gonna go watch that game, and I was like, I'm gonna go watch with you then too. So and it was on the same.
We was recruiting her at Colorado. Was recruiting her.
Oh, okay.
So it was in the same gym. So I had another ref one of my games, so I could sit and talk to her. We talked for pretty much the entirety of the game. Her coach had came over too.
Oh my God.
And sat next to us. I was
So
like,
weird. That was so weird, bro.
So I'm trying to talk, and her coach and her son over there staring. I'm like,
Yeah, it was a lot.
and then
Because she was like, who's this Tay? I was like, I just met him today.
Right.
so
It was nice though.
then at the end of that, we was about to like go our separate ways, and she had mentioned that she was in a word and that she believed in God, but she kind of brushed over. Like she talked about everything else, but she brushed over, and that's what I was looking for in a woman, who was seeking the Lord and truly kept Him first. And so when we was about to like go our separate ways, I was like, hey, I would love to hear more about your story about how you were saved and everything like that. So can I get your number? So
That was fire. That was fire.
I couldn't say no.
Couldn't resist.
I couldn't say no, bro. Yeah, that was. I was like,
Yeah.
what? I gotta say yes. I gotta say yes.
That's fire.
got her number, we hugged, and she went her way, I went mine, and it was
Yeah.
history.
That's
So,
love.
yeah.
That's love. Man. That's love. So going back to the Sweet 16, the game at Duke, it was crazy,
was
right?
crazy.
And then you go up against a juggernaut in Iowa. So
Yeah.
talk about playing against Caitlin Clark and prepping for somebody of that caliber in college who has so much attention.
Yeah.
First of all, was she cold like that?
She was.
She was.
She was.
Because like
not gonna lie.
on TV,
On TV
like,
it's hype,
she's
but
cold, but
she's-
I'm like,
yeah.
yo,
Because
like, it's got to be crazy.
I'm here, and you're still shooting, bro. I'm here, and she's my height, so and I'm not short.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know that. Like she's a little short white girl, but like
she's
she's
6'1"?
6. She's 6'1", bro.
Oh, for real?
Yes, and she comes off screens like
Yeah.
she's very efficient. So like no, she's very tough. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. So I was leading up to that prep. I remember it was like frustrating because everybody was like all on her. I'm like, bro, we got it. You know what I'm saying?
basketball.
It's basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, and the reporters were like, are you sure? Offensively they're, and I'm like, all right, well. And we were more of a defensive team. So it was, we only lost, I think, by like maybe 8 or 10 points.
Yeah.
10 was at the game. I would say like she leads her team well, like especially in college. I think back then if she was doing well, everybody was doing well. So she was very tough to guard. But before that, even getting to that game, like when we played against Duke, I remember we didn't think we was gonna beat Duke. To be honest with you, we was like, oh my God, like we're just grateful to be here. Like I think like we wanted, how you want to do something, but you just were like, okay, what's gonna happen though? Like if we actually do it.
Really March Madness.
Yeah. It was crazy. So it was really fun. I think it was just like for me being at home. Like that was my very first time getting to play.
Yeah.
Number one, I thought about going to Duke one day, right? But I'm playing against Duke, and I beat my dad. Like he was excited. It was like really really cool. Like
It was a crazy
it was a crazy moment. Like just surreal. Like and then I was more excited because like you came, like all my other friends and family came, like cousins, like everybody that you don't ever see me hoop. So like it was really like surreal. And like I was like I gotta go off. So it was just really fun like to be in that moment. And I will say like it's probably one of my favorite games in my whole career is gonna be, because it's just like it was so fun for real.
Dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
See, we skipped that one, Tim. That was a Caitlin Clark question, but she
Yeah, she elaborated.
Yeah. So, Tay, talk about life after college, your process to going to play pro, and the adjustment to going overseas just from coming from Colorado.
I will say it was like a big adjustment in some areas, not all areas, but some areas were just like I personally needed to change my mentality. So in college, you might average I didn't average that, maybe average like 5-6 points a game, but you know, some girls who average more, like 10, 12 points, right? That's really good. You know, you can be considered for the league,
For
whatever.
sure.
But it's like when you go overseas, you know, depending on which team you go to, you got to be that leader. You can't be averaging it. You got to average like 20 or 30. You know what I'm saying? So I think changing my mentality was one of the biggest things. I was like, okay, I got to go in here and make sure
the freedom that
I have to just hoop. And I think that was the biggest thing for me. That I was so excited.
You've been in that role player for 4 years, and it's like,
bro, I don't want to just be a rebounder. I don't want to just be a defensive lock now. I want to go get 25, you know. But I mean, I respect it because in college it is a business, and there is it's a system, and like you can't knock the system. And as I got older, I understood that. But back then, I was like, bro, you know,
as a player,
you ain't trying to hear none of that, bro. I want to get on the court.
I have, and
put me in the game.
A lot in my game. And
you're not letting me go, bro.
Right here, like I got all of this.
What you mean? I can't pull right here?
You said, right?
Yeah, I would have pulled, and I shouldn't.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad, but
so following, you wasn't over there that long, and then obviously, you know, Miss Brandy and losing your mom happened while you were over there. And Tim, you were still in Colorado at the time?
When mommy passed, I had moved out here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Miss Brandy was a super special lady. And nothing but joy, nothing but laughter, nothing but energy, positive energy at that, no matter what she was going through. And we miss her dearly, but talk about that. And you weren't out there for long before you had to come home.
Yeah. It was like all of it. This is another reason why I was like, I have to stay close to the Lord, because He keeps me in a place of just, you know, some stuff don't make sense, but you know, I still trust Him. And I think just during that whole process, I remember having that. I will say Tim, he was like, I give him so much props to this day, because he was like my backbone in the whole situation. I don't know where to start, but I know that last thing I remember was I was on the phone with my agent. I was explaining to her what was going on, and like just how, like, you know, my mom was like, you know, really sick. She was in the hospital, and I needed to leave immediately, like to go, because she was on life support. And I remember my agent was trying to hurry up and get me a flight out, so they figured all that out. I flew out like the next day. And then I got out there, and, you know, my mom was like in the bed, like, but she wasn't responsive at all. Like, she was just kind of like with like the tubes in her mouth, just like on life support, breathing machine, all that. And so that in itself was a lot. My brother, he didn't really see any of that until I got there, because he wanted to wait to go see her until I got back to the States. And so she was in the hospital, I want to say like 2 days, maybe 3 days until I got there. And, you know, me and Tim and him all went together and, you know, just, you know, talk to her. I know she could hear us and everything. She hadn't passed yet. And I just remember, like, you know, just trying to figure out what was going on. Like, I talked to my coaches, explained everything, you know, with them. And they were very kind. I mean, like, the whole thing was really crazy. I know for a fact it was none but God, because I literally was there from, you know, as a rookie, you don't break contracts or pause contracts. Like, I can hoop, but I ain't like that where you just get to just do what you want willy-nilly, not as a rookie. So, but I know going in, I told them the situation. I was communicating. They was like, listen, you know, like, I left in November. They said you can come back in around January, because we didn't know she was going to pass. But they was like, you know, ultimately, you know, we hope everything gets better. But after the New Year's, just come back, because I had a Christmas break anyway. So they were just saying, like, just stay out there for Thanksgiving, stay out there for Christmas, and then we'll see you in January. And so I was battling, like, after she passed away, December 16th, 2023, I remember it so vividly. I was like, I don't even know if I want to go back and play. Like, what am I doing? You know, like, what is this even supposed to be now? And I think, like, again, huge shout out to my husband, because he was so, like, just faithful to what I wanted to do in my career. Because, like, you need people around you who, if you don't believe in yourself, you got to have somebody else pick you up. I mean, you just got to have that. So, you know, he was like, I think you should go back. Like, you know, Mom would want you to go back, so you should go back and finish what you started. And so I was like, all right, whatever. You know, I was kind of frustrated about everything. And KJ said the same thing. He was like, you know, you should go back. And again, Tim had already, like, decided he was going to come and help out. And I had to go back and finish my contract. My godmom, like, she was helping out. My dad, he was helping out, like, here and there. But they, you know, they was working. And Tim was like, you know what, we're gonna figure it out. Like I'm gonna come out here. Like he just made so many sacrifices that I didn't even have to ask him to do, but that just showed how much he loved me. And I was like, yeah, I gotta marry him.
Yeah.
Hey, man, what we doing?
I told you that.
Yeah, you did.
What are you doing?
I know, I was tripping. Really, though, I was. And I think, like, what I learned, though, is, like, for somebody, like, love is really sacrificial. And so, like, for him to do all of that, it was like, okay, I get to go, you know, finish my contract. He's taking care of my little brother. Like, KJ was, like, 16. He's 15 at the time. So he was, you know, trying to figure stuff out. You know, my dad was coming in every now and then. Everything happened so sudden, right? So, like, everybody trying to figure out what's going on. But, you know, he just came and just dropped what he had going on. And so I'm back in Finland trying to hoop. You know, the first couple games was very rough, but I just had, like, this chip on my shoulder. Around, like, the third, fourth, fifth game, I started, like, kind of, like, getting back into the groove of it. And, like, just really playing for her and, like, really understanding, like, okay, I'm still here. I get to play. And so, yeah, I made it. Some days it's still rough, obviously now, but I'm grateful. I'm really grateful again because Tim he's helped me so much through all of this, even to this day. So.
That's love. And Tim, walk us through your decision to make that sacrifice to leave Colorado and your job and everything that you had going on to come this way. Like what? We know love drove it, but still, that's a huge sacrifice to make. Yeah. So when you have your career going on and you're not married, and I mean it's so much. What went in through your head at that time?
Like I mentioned earlier, I wanted to find a woman that was seeking the Lord, and at that time, me and Tay had known each other for about 1.5 years now, and we had been dating. And prior to Finland, she was in Australia. I went out there and visited her in Australia, for like about 3 weeks to a month. So just really enjoying that time with her and praising the Lord truly. And then when that time came, she had called me and told me I had got the immediate flight that day. I packed a suitcase and I said, okay, I'm getting there right now. Like when she told me everything that had happened. And so I flew out here to North Carolina, and I was like, okay, there's the whole situation she just said, everything that was going on. And I know what real life's like. Like, you know, this is what the podcast is about, like life after being an athlete, right? Like it gets real. And I was like, she doesn't deserve that right now, right? So I wanted to help her keep her career and keep going. And okay, I can handle things. I can take a step away from this job. I can get another career. I got a good resume, all this stuff. But I was like, but am I supposed to do it? So I prayed about it. And the Lord is actually the one that told me, because he said you don't have to take care of the boy, which is KJ.
Right.
I was like, I'm going to take care of KJ, like 15-year-old.
Yeah.
You a man, you know what it was like when you was 15. You start to feel yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like
that's an adjustment.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't want to. And there's a scripture that talked about a man who had riches. So I had just got me a new apartment out in Colorado, like really nice with a view, all this stuff. Like all the things, right? Like, because the career was going well. I had just got a pay increase. Like things were going great. And then this happened. And it talks about a man who have all these riches, but says he want to follow the Lord. And Jesus tells him, you got to get rid of all this to truly follow me into the kingdom. And he couldn't get rid of it. And I was like, I don't want that to be me, where if I say no, I miss out on what the Lord truly has for me later in life. So,
and it wasn't, like you said, like necessarily about me. It was just about obedience.
Right, being obedient to the Lord.
That's so good.
And what was best for you?
Yeah, because it truly, I mean, if I would have said no, I would have missed out on having Tay, right? Being in this community, having our daughter, like. I don't know if I was supposed to say that early in the podcast.
No, you good.
Oh, no, you already said it.
I already said it earlier. Okay, my fault. And so I was like, okay. He told me when the Lord revealed it to me, because he brought that scripture to my mind, because I wasn't even thinking about it when I was praying. He brought it to my mind, and I was mad for like 2 days. I was like, I'm not doing this. No, I'm about to go back home. When she leave, I'm leaving. I'll figure it out. But then I was like, okay, what would I have wanted if this happened to me, right? Like if I was to tell her a year later, like, you know, the Lord did tell me to stay, but I was like, nah, bump him. How does that make me look as a husband that's supposed to lead her?
Right.
You know, even though we were dating at that time, but we were dating to get married. So
hey ladies, get yourself a Tim. Get yourself a Tim, man.
But yeah.
That's dope. So what advice do you have, you know, to young athletes who handle loss, family setbacks, or just major life changes in general? Like, what advice do you have now going through it? Because there are a lot of athletes that kind of go through these situations, and mental wise, they're not as strong as maybe you guys were, or they don't have a Tim in their life, or a very tight-knit community around them that draws them back in and keeps them level-headed. So what advice do you have for them?
I would say, number one, get a Bible. Like, kid you not, get a Bible and read it. I know that's not the most popular thing to say, but genuinely from experience, you need to read the Word. You need to take your relationship serious with God, not just to say it, but to actually do it, because that's what keeps you through struggling. That's what keeps you through trials, everything. Because a lot of people we just think we can get through things with coping with other things, but you really need to take your relationship with the Lord serious. That would be number one. I would say number two is, like Jeremy saying, like keep people around you. Like, you know how I'm a very private person. Mm-hmm. This was the most hardest thing for me, was asking people for help.
Right.
We don't want to ask people for help. Like, for me, like, that's something he's always gotten on me about. It's like, you got people who want to help you, but you don't want to use it.
Right.
And I think if we just put our pride aside and just be like, listen, can y'all help me?
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely do feel like if the person you're asking, if you feel comfortable asking them, I'm pretty sure that they might help,
For sure.
And I think that's something I had to just learn, is like, okay, just ask, And that was so hard for me, but those would be the main two things for sure. Just advice, because we all need help.
For sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Piggyback off her, how your relationship with the Lord, get you a Bible, read it, and be in the Word. Don't do it to show everybody, just do it to have your own personal relationship. Other thing I would add, though, I would tell you, get a therapist.
For sure.
So good.
I've been doing therapy since 2021, not because there's problems or things wrong, but there's things and habits that we learn, especially in the Black community, that we're not supposed to be doing. Like, we hold on to stuff, have grudges from people's parents that we don't even know, but because they did it, so we do it.
Right.
And that's not healthy for us.
100%. And we bury a lot of those and create a lot
Suppress
of bad
it.
habits from that, whether there's food. You guys are very, into the vegan life. And
not no more.
Not no more. Oh.
Yeah, not no more.
They was vegan for about...
We tried it.
She was on my top about everything.
I was.
And now we got chicken and shrimp. we couldn't
it's that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
We ain't on that no more, though.
But I think there's a reason why they're not vegan anymore. And let's go into that. Tayanna and Tim have a child, Truth, a daughter. Shout out to Truth.
So adorable.
And I'll tell y'all the story when Tayanna told me. She texted me.
You got to send a screenshot.
Yeah.
You got to clip that, bro.
Yeah.
Because you have to do that, bro.
She sent a screenshot, and it was like, it's a new, I got somebody that you're going to have to train.
Oh, yeah.
Out of Wake Forest. And I said, okay, bet. Like, but I'm thinking, like, I'm in the mode. When I'm thinking you really going to send a prospect down here.
For sure.
She was like, yeah. She going to be nice. Like, you got to.
I was gassing, bro.
And I'm like, what? I'm like, what's her name? And then I think you said Truth. And then you was like, I just wasn't following. I'm like, but my mind, why would she drive from Wake Forest? That don't make no sense. It's a million trainers between Wake Forest and Wilson. So then she sends me the baby emoji,
bro,
and I just go crazy.
Yeah,
man.
that was crazy.
It was a magical moment. She got me, and the baby is here. So for the first time today, I got to see Truth. So it's a beautiful day today. Talk about being parents, the decision to have the child, and you just coming from the athlete life to parents is totally different.
Oh my God, it's not for the weak. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You want to start?
Truth, if you ever watch this, we love you. What I'm about to say next, don't take it wrong. I'll let you that you hear, but it wasn't a plan. We waited till marriage.
Yeah, we did wait till marriage.
We got married, and
we didn't. I feel like we didn't plan not to have a child,
but we didn't
plan to have a child.
Right.
We were just, you wait till for a very long time. You're like, we're trying to do things in order, and then we finally get married, doing everything, and then it's like, I probably like 4 weeks later, I'm like, yo.
But let me tell you how we found out she was pregnant, though.
Oh my God.
Just tell you
Yeah,
the
go
story
ahead.
real quick?
Yes.
So, she on her period, she loves Mexican food.
Yeah.
Like I know it's coming, right? It'd be like 2 days before
This
it's
is
about to
crazy.
hit.
How you keeping this?
Bro,
Yeah,
No,
I
you're
gotta-
wildin'.
He's
Like
wildin', bro.
Mrs. Vegan.
Listen.
Now we eat some burritos.
Hey, bro, I mean, anything, bro.
For sure.
Anything,
So,
bro.
I'm
Except
like,
pork.
okay,
Right.
she want Mexican, like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. I asked her, you try to keep it timed up. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you want Mexican food? She's like, I don't have a taste for it right now. She's like, no. I said, what?
Right.
I said, it's about that time though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
then I'm like, I think you might be pregnant. She's like, nah, I ain't pregnant. I was like, okay, cool.
I was so tired.
We go to church on Sunday.
Oh my God.
It's Youth Sunday.
Yeah, it was Youth
All
Sunday.
the kids
All
in
the
the church.
kids.
I'm like, no.
It was
ain't no
random.
way.
Like, it was never Youth Sunday.
Yeah, like that
For-
was like the first Youth Sunday was that many kids at that church.
It was something weird like that, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, we gotta go get a pregnancy test because we had just had a whole conversation the night
Yeah, we had like, I think we had talked, we were praying about it. We was like, we really, like,
Bro,
It was a
kids
sign.
it was a sign.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is crazy.
And I was annoyed by the kids because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
loved the day before. Like I don't got a problem with kids. I love them.
Right.
That night before, so we go to was it Walgreens or CVS?
Somewhere.
I don't know, but like we went and Walgreens and CVS don't catch us. But before we even paid for it, I said, you got to go ahead to the bathroom right now.
He was not playing like, take it right now. I
said,
said, we ain't even pay. He said, go take it
on
right
the way
now.
out, I'll pay for it.
Bro, when I tell you, as soon as I took that test, they must have said, double line. I said, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
What was your reaction?
I
to
was
it?
like, yo, this is, I think I was in shock.
Yeah.
Because again, I was still grieving my mom.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff was new for me. Like when I tell
Yeah.
you life transitions was like, that's why he said hit a therapist, bro. You
Yeah.
need it, bro.
Yeah.
Life, you need that stuff. So for me, I was like, whoa, like I was like mixed. I was excited because like me and Tim, like we talked about kids, like, but we just didn't know what happened that soon.
Yeah.
And so I felt like we was like, I was shocked. I don't know how you felt. I think he was.
I was shocked. She was playing it off. She's not. You know how she happy
Yeah,
go
yeah.
lucky.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my god, we about to have. I'm like, she's like, you think it's a boy or a girl? I think it's a boy. I'm like,
Yeah, I think I was
it's a
suppressing.
child, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was
and I felt
suppressing.
bad. Oh, sorry, but
I'm so sorry. You go first.
I was just saying I felt bad because she was a pro. And like she said
Yeah.
she had just finished the season, had just lost her mom.
Yeah,
Like
that's not going on.
we wanted to get married and let her continue her career and kind of keep going from there. And I had already found my new job out here and everything. So I was like, a couple years we can think about that, right? Like let her really
Yeah.
establish herself some more. And for that to happen, I felt terrible because I'm like, dang, like we made all these sacrifices and transitions to be here.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to go this way for you, right? But the Lord had a different
I
plan
was about
for
to say
us.
it's a blessing
So,
from God.
it was a
is.
blessing. It was a blessing.
Because I will say, like, even though that wasn't a plan, I am so grateful it happened. Because when I tell y'all, God had to sit me down. There was just a lot of different things that he just needed to work with me. And it wasn't like anything crazy, but it was just like, sit down and grieve.
Yeah.
Sit down and be still.
Yeah.
Sit down and just be submissive to your husband. Sit down and learn how to be a mom. Like learn how to, you don't have a mom. So now you're gonna have to pray more and learn and read your word more on how to be a mom. Like there's different things I had to learn. And I think for me, that was the hardest thing, just being still. Something so simple, right?
Yeah.
But and that's why I told you I was hooping all up until like 6-7 months pregnant. Like I'm a hoop. One thing about me, you're gonna, and like
I had
it was.
to tell her to sit down.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't say
did.
nothing. She'd have kept pooping to the baby.
Bro, and I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not even sure.
I'm pregnant and scored on you. I'm giving birth tomorrow, bro.
That's
You're
insane.
trash. That's how she talks. Like,
No, but for real though, it was a lot. It was a lot. I will say I was definitely shocked. I did not feel the way I should have felt when I saw I was pregnant. I was like, okay, looking back at it, I should have been like, Tim, I'm a little scared. You know, but I didn't. I was trying to, again, like he talked about, get a therapist. Don't suppress your feelings. I was like, I was excited, but I was low key more scared because I was like, what's going on? This is new.
This is new.
And so, again, I didn't have time to grieve. Just like a lot of stuff going on. We learned how to be a married couple now. I thought life was only about us. So it's like, okay, what's going on? So that's how I felt. It was a lot.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing, and God doesn't make mistakes.
Exactly.
So everything happens how it's supposed to happen, and that's life.
So much.
That's life. So anything new going on with you guys? What's next for you guys in life?
Woo! So I'm actually going back overseas. Yeah, going back to Finland. And I'm actually so excited because they are flying out my husband and Truth.
Yeah,
so
that's love.
Yeah, and we leave in probably in maybe a few more weeks. Just waiting on like our resident permit and all that other stuff, like the
That's
visas.
soon?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's love.
Yeah,
It's perfect timing.
It's perfect
Yeah.
timing. That's why I said like it's the way like because I didn't want to take 2
I'm
seasons
about
off.
to say, you would have been on season 3 of Courtside Culture. You going to be over there for about 8 months.
Woo, yeah, I'm excited
That's
though.
love.
I'm
I'm
just
excited.
grateful that they get to come with me. So
And I'm happy that you actually, like Tim said, get to live out his dream. And Tim and I were just talking. He gets to kind of relax.
Yeah.
I mean, he made a lot of the sacrifices, so now he gets to be in a foreign country, experience something different,
And just have fun.
Be a father and enjoy the moment for
yeah.
however long it lasts and however long you want to play, and then
And he deserves it. That's
Yeah.
why I tell him like I think it's gonna be funny because like now he's gonna have to see how hard it is to be still. You
Right.
ain't got nothing to do, just
Right.
chill. Like, and I think for him it'll be interesting to see like how he takes that because like he's been working, working. Well, it's like now you get to relax. And
the
just
first
let
couple
me,
months, was
yeah,
like, chill, like third month.
yeah, like I gotta do
I'm about to
something.
run down here and
Yeah.
put my resume.
Right.
I was going,
You're
can't
not
do this.
wrong. You're not wrong. That nigga ref a game?
Especially him. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm
That's good.
excited.
Hey, I bought a PS5 yesterday, so that should
Yeah.
help. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
it is.
He don't even play games. He just did it just
I'm about
to
to start playing games now. 3 times.
kill
You
his
might
time
well stream now.
Right. Like, shoot.
at this point. So yeah.
So we're going to hop into a little bit of fun. We always finish it with some fun questions. So Tay, we're going to go with you first.
Okay.
All right. So this is would you rather. All right. Would you rather hit a game-winning buzzer beater or drop 40 points in a blowout win?
Game winning buzzer.
Hey,
I need that win.
40 crazy.
Nobody might care about that we lost.
Hey, not in a blowout win.
Y'all
Oh,
won
blowout
40.
win.
You can have 4 and hit the buzzer beater, or you can have 40 and a win.
I see what you're saying.
That's tough.
That's a good question.
He asked you, he ain't asked me.
I'm looking at
I know
him.
What
my
you got,
answer.
Sam?
Yeah,
I
ask
want the
him.
buzzer beater because everybody gonna talk about that. You
Yeah,
can
that's
score
true.
40 any game, especially in a
Nah,
blowout.
you can't. Yeah.
I mean, not
Good
any
point.
game.
I'm about to
say you
Let me
still
rephrase
hit
my
40.
fault. I ain't play pro.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. But
Nah,
you scored
yeah.
40 in high school though. So.
But high school don't count. But I will say the buzzer beater. That's
Okay.
my answer.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
going with 40.
You definitely
In a
are.
blowout?
Yeah,
But
blowout
it's a
win.
blowout though.
I
You need the buckets.
I have 40 on them.
I have 40. That
You
do
can
sound
keep saying
crazy.
it sound crazy.
I have 40.
I have 40,
Easy.
bro.
That's crazy. That's
You couldn't
insane
guard
to
me.
say.
Doesn't matter. They're going to clip it up and make it look crazy. I
What was
have
the
40.
scouting report, bro?
Right. I have 40, bro. All right. Would you rather play with Asia Wilson in her prime or Breonna Stewart in her prime?
Asia Wilson, for sure.
Would you rather have Sue Bird's leadership or Tayanna Taurasi's scoring mentality?
Diana, score mentality.
Okay.
Easy.
Would you rather win a WNBA championship as a role player or make the All-Star teams but never win a ring?
Dang. I don't know if I want a ring or if I'm like big
The
on.
bag probably come with the All-Star.
I'm gonna need the All-Star, bro. I'm gonna need the All-Star. I'm gonna need
Need
that.
the bread.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna need the bread.
bag.
You know the W. Come on now.
Right.
We need the bread. Easy.
Would you rather play and win in the Olympics for the Team USA or win back-to-back WNBA championships?
Oh nah, Olympics. Easy.
Olympics
like
is
I
crazy.
that's one of my
That's a
biggest
crazy
dreams.
experience.
Yeah, that's my biggest dreams.
All right, so we're going to start with Tay, and then Tim, you're going to finish off. Need your all-time, no position, starting 5 WNBA.
I'm gonna start out with Lisa Leslie.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Candace Parker. Mike Moore.
Okay.
I really do like Asia Wilson, so I'm just gonna add her in there just because
Okay.
she just won MVP recently
Yeah,
too.
I saw
So
that.
that's 4 times.
Yeah, she gets.
And for my point guard, I'm gonna just say Dawn Staley just cause.
Okay. I like it. I like it. And Tim, you give me your all-time starting 5 NBA.
Oh, thank you for saying NBA.
Yeah,
I
I got you, brother. I got you, brother.
not too
I
much.
would say all the tall people in the WNBA, all the ones I've seen on TV.
Y'all
Right.
is crazy.
I probably would have put Tarazi in there though.
Now
She's
is
tough to me.
Yeah, now she is. She's
Yeah.
up there. She's up there for sure.
What you got, Tim?
NBA, man. All right, so I ain't gonna get beat up. I'm gonna say Jordan because we.
Okay, right. I gotta start there. I've only had one episode where they didn't put
Jordan.
No. He didn't put Braun in it. Jordan's been in every.
Oh,
And I can live without Bron.
That's crazy.
so all star, but yeah. Let me see all time. So, I mean, I'm gonna say Jordan, Kobe. I had to put Shaq in there. We was just hooping with him last night. I'm gonna say Tim Duncan.
Okay.
I like Timmy.
You gotta have a good five now.
Who gonna bring it up for me?
I like Timmy.
Yeah.
Timmy's like one of those four. It's just like if you like his game or if you don't like
Yeah.
his game.
But
But
I feel like he's gonna do
dumb
everything that
efficient.
ain't nobody else gonna do.
Yeah.
And
But
that's
it just don't look good. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it doesn't look athletic.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
He gets 40, gets to it.
It's gonna be an ugly 40 though.
and I'll probably end it with
Oh, thanks, guys, bro. What are you doing? Dunk the basketball.
Mr. Fundamental.
Right.
Bro,
Get off
bro.
Timmy's head, bro.
Up,
This is
up,
a
up.
bucket, bro.
It's because his name matching.
Oh, okay.
And I'll probably end with AI point guard.
AI? So no Kobe in yours.
I want Kobe. I did say Kobe. It
He
was
said
Jordan
Kobe.
Kobe.
All right, so
Jordan,
Mike.
no LeBron.
No, Bron.
Yeah,
He said no Brian, yeah. He said Mike.
Yeah. I ain't saying Bron trash. I'm just saying
Mike, Kobe.
Man.
Oh, run it to me.
All right.
Mike, Kobe,
Mike, Kobe,
Shaq.
Shaq.
Tim Duncan, AI.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Do y'all have anything else y'all want to say to the people as we wrap up?
Huge shout out to my trainer. He's been training me since I was like 15, 16.
Yeah.
So, hey, shout out to him. I'm grateful for him. I'm grateful to be here on the podcast. And yeah, shout out to my husband. Love him dearly. Give me a kiss. Not on camera. Just kidding.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
All right, you got something to say?
Shout out to Jeremy. Thanks for having us. I didn't know I was going to be on the podcast. So
Yeah.
Appreciate you having me on. And for real, thanks for being her big brother.
Yeah.
She really needed you. So
For sure.
appreciate you.
Thank you. Well, thank you guys for watching this episode of the Courtside Culture. Make sure you follow us on social media and subscribe at Power TV NC. And we'll see you guys on the next episode.